Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. Bang! And we continue to work our way through Janacek. I can't believe how much Janacek I've managed to collect over the years. I mean, this is what happens when you obsess about something. It really is kind of amazing. And we begin with a disc that we've actually talked about before, but in a different form. This is Janacek chamber music, including the Capriccio and Concertino, the piano works for piano and chamber ensembles. We have the Fairy Tale, the Presto, both for cello and piano, the Violin Sonata, and the Capriccio and Concertino. One is for piano, left hand, and 7 wind instruments. Strange work. Oh, weird. And the Concertino for piano and chamber ensemble with Michael Rudi and Pierre Amoyal violin and Gary Hoffman cello, with the soloist of the French National Paris Opera Orchestra under Charles Mackerras. Now, this disc, just so you know, we've already talked about. It was later not boxed up, but recoupled as an EMI twofer with other stuff, including Mackerras' other Janacek things that he did earlier for EMI. And we talked about it in that format. But this was the original LP, which became the original CD. What year was this done? 1996. So there you go. A French EMI production. And it doesn't get much better than that. It really doesn't. Then what have we got here? Oh, look at this. Well, this is fun. The Quintet avant Claude Debussy on Harmonia Mundi. It's the Debussy Wind Quintet, and you get, Ligeti, 6 bagatelles for Wind Quintet, and the 10 pieces for Wind Quintet, and then Janacek's Bloody, which is a sextet, really totally awesomely amazing piece, just so much fun. It's for flute, oboe, clarinet, bass clarinet, horn, and bassoon. Just fantastic work that he wrote in 1925, and he called it Youth for his 70th birthday. That's the kind of guy he was. Then we've got, let's see, what else are they doing? Oh, and the Concertino, that's on here too. For piano, 2 violins, viola, clarinet, horn, and bassoon. We have the members of the Quatuor Parisi in some of these pieces, of the Concertino principally. Then you've got the wind people from the Wind Quintet, and you've got Philippe Cassar piano, and Bruno Martinez bass clarinet, all on Harmonia Mundi. This is one of those discs that, if probably it's still available, who knows? But who would even know to look for it? I'm sure it lasted in the catalog all of 15 seconds when it originally was released. And they're very, very fine performances, and lovely sonics, and so there's that Harmonia Mundi thing. The problem, of course, is that Janacek's chamber works are sort of sui generis. There's 2 quartets, right? But then there's 1 violin sonata and 1 wind sextet, and 2 little pieces for cello and piano, and so they all get coupled to other things, and they come out in collections, and those collections tend not to last very long in the catalog, not surprisingly. So that's something that you need to know. Oh, wow, baby. Yeah, totally awesomeness. These are super fun archive, fabulous sounding mono recordings. They sound great. Of the Glagolitic Mass and the Sinfonietta with Bretislav Bakala. Bretislav Bakala, I guess, is Bakala, was one of Janacek's, after he passed away, guys who helped put his music in order. Sometimes gussying it up or futzing with it, which is, a pity. But these are classic performances. The Sinfonietta with the Czech fill, the Mass with the Brno Radio Symphony Orchestra, with Libusha Domaninska, Marie Yurgenova, Josef Valka, Yaroslav Hromadka, and František Michalek organ. Boy, got through that somehow. Not too badly, I don't think. And this is super fun archive. These are classic historical recordings of Janacek that everyone ought to have. Yeah, if you can find them. So keep that in mind. Then we've got, oh yes, Charles Mackerras and František Žilek. Well, you've got the Glagolitic Mass, what's not to love, with the Czech Philharmonic Chorus and the Czech Philharmonic Orchestra. Well, the Mass is not the Mackerras. The Mass is with the Brno State Philharmonic and Žilek, who's a fabulous Janacek guy, and the Brno State's Janacek's hometown team. So it's a very fine performance. It really is. And Amoras, the cantata, it's about the monk who sees these lovers, being lovers, and then he drops dead. I mean, that's the story. And it's great, by the way. It sounds terrific. It's a half hour. When people should play these things, they're just so unusual, And you've got great singers. In the Mass, you've got Gabriela Benachkova, who's the soprano, and Eva Rondova, and Willem Pschibel, the tenor, and Sergei Kopchak. They're all very, very good. So the performances are as good as they get, basically. Just tremendous. And it's Mackerras, and it's Žilek, and it's great. Yeah, wonderful. So there's that. Then I've got this weird thing on Artino. Yeah, look at this. Václav Neumann with the SWF Symphony Orchestra. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, this is cool. Really, really cool. You've got the Sinfonietta, which Neumann always did well. He really did. And the violin concerto, the reconstructed violin concerto, The Pilgrimage of a Soul. 13 minutes in a single movement with music that later became the overture to From the House of the Dead, and the suite from The Cunning Little Vixen. This is really quite good. Yeah, this is a really good record. Artino, which, sort of mined the German radio archives for various things, had really quite a few very interesting productions that they managed to get their paws on and release. And this was one of them. Definitely one of them. Is released in 1995, although the performances date from much earlier, I'm sure. Let me see if I can find dates for these things. I'm sure they won't tell us what they are, because that would mean telling us what they are. Nah, I don't see it. Let me take a peek. It's okay. There we go. They do tell us. Okay, so here we go. The Sinfonietta was 1990. The violin concerto was 1990. And the suite was 1986. These were all done in Südwestfunk Studio 5. And I happen to know where that is. So there you go. It's a good place to make records. And, all those Michael Gielan recordings were done there. A lot of them were. So there you go. That's pretty nifty. So that's an interesting collection of stuff, wouldn't you say? Keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. More Janacek to come. Oh, we've got so much more Janacek. You got to love him, folks. You just have to. You don't have to love all of it, but you got to love most of it. Take care.